Good morning and many blessings, ladies and gentlemen, from your favorite neighborhood, which, well, I am a bridge Joe today because I am very casual and very lax. This is my way of downwinding my energy from all of last night. I do apologize again for my voice being out of it for those who were already on my video start point where we were adjusting the audio. And now for the audio standpoint, ladies and gentlemen, please, I do apologize. My voice is out of it. Yesterday was my birthday, and I'm in Vegas. So we are live here from Vegas, and we are going to talk about the recap of the entire month. I did get some water today. Thank you so much for asking. But I am here to go ahead and do a review, talk about things that we have planned going forward, as well as some ideas. If you guys are with it or not with it, let me know because all I'm going to do is get better from here. So your feedback is always welcome. So for those who are watching the live on IG, I am super, super casual. And for those who are listening or audio wise on YouTube as well as Podbean, I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to my raspy voice. As you guys are aware, this last month we've been talking about, treating yourself and heart health, as well as, making sure you are taking time for yourself and realizing there is nothing wrong with taking time out for you. Because if you can't treat yourself, how are you expecting to treat someone else? So, more or less, how have you guys been feeling about the podcast so far? I've been doing this now since November 2019. And here we are at the end of February. And we are going to make sure, no matter what, no matter where I travel to this year and the following year, I'm going to make sure you guys get content that you're going to want to keep coming back for and keep wanting to listen to more. Um, what was that? The exposure. So, one thing that I'm going to probably suggest is what I keep getting feedback on is getting more guest speakers, which was one of the things, especially when it came down to the male perspective and female perspective when it came to long distance relationships last month. Um, I've had a lot more people saying that they would love to have Zeb sit in because they love the way he went through the breakdown of dealing with somebody and having relationships with people long distance wise and a male perspective. And your insight, actually, Zeb, thank you for actually being here and tuning in on how you handle a relationship with somebody with high extreme anxiety or depression. Um, yes, yes, little on you. A lot of people really liked your insight and they would love and enjoyed your content. A lot of the people who are close to me saying that we need to bring you back more often. And I'm like, well, one, that's a little difficult. He lives in Chicago. And two, we can still make it work if he is down for it. I know you're a very, very busy man with two children and a lot of stuff that's going on with you. By all means, we could probably talk that out later. But so far, does anybody have a favorite episode? I would love for people to, send me lovely feedback on that. Like, what is their favorite episode so far? Right now, my favorite one is the Treat Yourself episode because right now I am doing just that. It is my 29th birthday or my 29th year circling the sun. And physically, anyway, I feel like I've circled the sun many times over spiritually because sometimes I don't act like I am 29 when it comes down to giving advice. I do come off as a old soul. So I feel like spiritually I have circled around this universe and this sun many times over, but physically this plane 29 years. So I treated myself by going out to the other side, to the West Coast, and went to Vegas. And I spent majority of yesterday in LA. well, driving, and then in LA. And it was super fun. I got to eat tacos, which I missed out last time I was in LA. I typically try to find a taco place everywhere I go. I don't even think we found one here yet. Nope, we haven't. Um, it's probably going to be super expensive and probably not worth it. It's okay.
We'll check.
We'll find out. But I'm here for a couple more days, and I have had a few little instances so far where I thought, the universe was trying to tell me this was not going to be good. But we had so many beautiful signs that came out that just kind of was just like, these are all good omens, these are good vibes. And turning things around, perspective wise, versus why is this happening to me, to what am I learning from this? What is it trying to tell me? Um, we had a lot of instances where I was in a new area, but there was rainbows. I was freaking out, but rainbows were always around, and I'm just like, this is a good sign. These are all good signs because the people that I traveled with is the people I'm planning on moving with in about a year, and everything just showed that this entire trip, not only did I was able to treat myself and indulge in myself and actually not particularly care too much about things going on, I got to see and vibe with the people that is going to be living with me possibly for the next 2 years next year. Um, and so far, I mean, we haven't killed each other. And I'm pretty sure my friend Kat, who was on one of my lives, she was on my live last month, is probably tired of me at this point because I'm a spastic mess when it comes to driving. Not like, not that I can't drive well, I just play music and put on a whole show in the car. And I mean, like, not like ghetto dancing. I full blown will take a ghetto song and make it real proper while singing to you. So yeah, adjust the lighting real quick. We're having technical malfunctions. He's saying put the light source by the camera. It was kind of hard because we're using the light at the hotel, which is our sources right now. Khadija, please don't break nothing. The sunlight is making it fluctuate, which I kind of figured. The sun has been like beautiful here. The weather's been beautiful here. Um, if you guys ever want to travel, I do suggest going to Vegas. Not just because of it being Sin City. There's like a lot of ways to avoid being reckless, um, and having a lot of fun here. And then also LA. LA, as expensive as it is, the weather was beautiful. It was 55 degrees yesterday, but it didn't feel like 55. It was beautiful. I was enjoying it. I enjoyed the beach. Even if I'm not a big beach person, I enjoyed every part of it. Um, so when it comes down to it, I know I'm a mess today, but spiritually, I am in a euphoric state. Physically, my body is just like, you're tired, you've been screaming, you need to take a seat, take a chill pill, you're cool. But I did what I set out to do, which was treat myself. Now, I did have a little miniature rant on IG right after the Treat Yourself episode about Valentine's Day. Not many people actually got to tune into it, but I did get snips and highlights on it and about my thoughts about Valentine's Day and everything else like that. Unfortunately, Podbean and YouTube missed out on that lovely rant. Um, I was sitting here talking about Valentine's Day being a commercialized holiday with no significant value to the couple unless they met on Valentine's Day or if they got proposed to on Valentine's Day. But there's no significant value of that day for couples unless ooh, I got really bright. Unless, unless, you know, one of those two factors. But you should be showing somebody you love them 365 days a year, not just on a day that they tell you you should take it. Um, Now, from what I'm being told is as for treating yourself, remember the most important part is to treat yourself kindly and with compassion. You deserve nice things and good experiences despite the cost because you are priceless. Yes, I agree. You do deserve to treat yourself with kindness and compassion. A lot of people will treat themselves and not put any heart or emotion into it. Um, and I agree with that. I mean, personally, me, when I do treat myself and I do stuff for myself, like me getting tacos once a week is me treating myself. That is my way of saying, you deserve this. You put up with so much negative energy and bad vibes that week from people at work, from people and all kinds of other stuff that I take that time to actually sit down and say, I deserve this. I worked hard for this. I protected my energy long enough that I needed this. And that's just it. Like, you have to know at the end of the day that when you do stuff for yourself, you want the same response from yourself as if you were giving it to someone else. You want that gratification as a human. And sometimes with people who don't have like significant others, yeah, buying things, excessing over the cost of what else or whatever else could have done with the cash is not being kind to yourself. No, 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 no. Believe me, I know. My sister has that real bad, real, real bad. Because I keep hearing her in the back talk about my pockets. Oh God, my pockets. But last night I was saying that for her because she took me to a Korean barbecue place. And as I'm looking at the menu, I'm like, oh my God, I hate both of you. They're like, nothing else was birthday worthy for you. And I'm just like, but it's so expensive. I would have been happy with a taco joint. But ultimately, I had a good time. I loved it. I wouldn't change anything I did for my birthday for anyone. Like all the experiences, even the anxiety in the large crowds, I wouldn't change this experience because I got to experience with people that I value. This is my way of treating myself. I got to be around people that I love, that bring me joy. And I mean, like, no matter how bad a situation may seem in this particular case, like finding like parking in LA that I didn't have to pay like an arm, a leg, and a toenail and my left kidney for. It was just like I got to spend time with people that brought value to me. And that was me treating myself. It's not even if everything would have went bad this week, I would have spent it with the people I cared about. And for me, that's fulfillment enough. Because these two girls, they bring me so much joy. Like I literally was saying this in the car ride that me and Kat, we've been friends almost 5 years this year. It'd be 5 years this year. And in the 5 years that we've known each other, she has never pissed me off. And her anxiety is just as bad as my anxiety used to be. Mine's was worse, but her anxiety is just as bad as mine used to be. And she's constantly apologizing, saying, I'm so sorry, I'm a mess. And I'm like, you're fine. Normally, that would irritate me. And it doesn't irritate me with her. So it was just like, she brought me like so much fulfillment being around. Hey, Glenn, how are you? I would like for you to wish me a happy belated birthday since you missed it yesterday. Um, but that's me treating myself. I don't do it often, but this was a moment. This was like my New Year's, my Christmas, all wrapped into one. Like, I worked hard for this. I deserve this. And that was me treating myself. Now, later on the line, when it's time for me to treat these two ladies, it's just how we're going to do it. I'm going to be able to treat them because guess what? I treated myself. I love myself and value myself and my time enough that I got to share with these ladies, that when it's time for them to drag me to a random place where Kat will sit here and drag me to a vegetarian festival, and I'm just like, but you know, I need meat, at least beef or chicken or fish or something. I don't eat pork, so I will be like, okay, cool. It's my way of giving back, and I won't complain about it. I'm gonna be happy because I'm getting to spend time with somebody who brings me value and brings me joy, and that's it. It's just the little things that you have to appreciate in your life when it comes down to treating yourself. It's the little things. I mean, I sat here, got to enjoy the culture because the West Coast is a lot different than the East. And yeah, we were in a lot of touristy areas. There's still a lot of locals here. So we still got to see how the locals live. We still get to see and value in the culture. And I'm enjoying the environment, even if there's crowds, even if there's a lot of traffic, even if there's a lot of things to have a lot of anxiety about. I'm enjoying myself and I'm treating myself and I'm saying, I deserve this. I worked hard for this. I survived 29 years. I overcame a lot of things. All this growth that I've went through. You should always find a reason why you value why you're treating yourself because you deserve it. So when you do take those moments and treat yourself and then you talk about, man, I should have really spent that money on this, that, and the third, turn it around and look at it. Say you deserve that money or you deserve to use it on what you want to use it for. Because that also goes back to protecting your energy and valuing and understanding that sometimes it's okay to splurge on yourself because of your mental health and your physical well being and your spiritual health. Because at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're happy with what you do with your life and how you treat yourself. Because if you're not happy with yourself and how you treat yourself, how are you expecting to treat someone else? Treat them right, to treat them with value. Because all you're doing is filling that void for yourself if you overindulge in somebody else. For example, if I sat here and I didn't take time to treat myself, but I took all my time to treat my sister, and then my sister's just like, I'm being overwhelmed with all these gifts and all these things because she's not that type of person. Like, she'll accept gifts, but then she'll start questioning why you're giving her so many gifts. Like, why are you doing this? But then again, it's one of those things sometimes when you're not taking care of yourself and not treating yourself, you try to fill that void by over treating someone else. So you have to have a balance because now you're overindulging and over treating someone else. But then when they don't treat you back, you're sitting here and you're expecting them to treat you a certain way, and they're not going to treat you that way because you were expecting them to fill that void you weren't filling yourself. In order for you to be able to uh, obtain greatness and be able to treat other people, you have to take and realize yourself as your center. You as a universe, you have to be able to build here first before you can be able to help build someone else in a way. You know, treating yourself is also building yourself and building someone else. So me taking time for my birthday was me taking time to build myself. Yeah, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, this trip, most of this was on my sister's expense for now, and I keep telling, and I'm going to pay her back. It's just going to be like, Psh, I'm paying rent. That's it. You ain't got to worry about rent. I got this. But that's just something I know we deserved because she deserved it. She accomplished a lot last year. She's in school. She's in here passing her grades, doing everything she said she's going to do. She deserved this just like I did. My friend Kat deserved this. We deserved a vacation. We were treating ourselves and also taking time to spend it with people that we love and cared and enjoy. This is her first time on the West Coast. So excuse me if I'm posting a lot of pictures of my best friend because this is her first time at all on this coast. So as you guys can tell, the treat yourself episode was my favorite one because everything you do in your life to protect your energy and yourself is going to have some kind of factor between your heart, your mental, your physical, everything you do. It takes time. Hey, welcome to the podcast, to my detox. But everything you do in life, you have to take time to treat yourself and love yourself and take value in the things that you do. Because in order for you to protect your energy, you got to know what's right and what's right for you. Whether it means leaving a job that is bad for you, or taking breaks at your job, or taking time to treat yourself, you need to know what will be the best thing for you to value yourself. And like I said, the last couple episodes has just been kind of on the fly, because heart health is very important, mental health is very important. And I feel like as like I'm a mixed mutt, but as an African American on the African American spectrum, I feel like a lot less of us, like still to this day in the newer generation, don't take value on our energy. We don't take value on our mental health or take time to take care of ourselves. So that's going to be basically the sum of the last couple months. Is just like take the factors of all the previous episodes and help build yourself, because guess what, you are your own universe, and you have to start building with you before you can start building with others. And one thing that me and my friend, like, he's like the one of the coolest people I know, and one of the goofiest coolest people I've ever known. You would never be able to take him serious unless you actually talk to him in person. But um I'm Marquise, a person I share on my IG all the fucking time. um he's a DJ in New York, and he's super goofy. But he made me realize that you have to take time to build yourself in order to build for someone else, especially going into relationships. And why our generation don't stay in relationships very long is because we build, but then we don't build ourselves before we get into those relationships. So then when we get into a point where we start building ourselves, and now these people that we are with are no longer working in our puzzle pieces or fitting into what we're building, now we're kicking these people to the side, and the divorce rate is like high in our generation. You have to build in yourself, build with yourself. And that's the reason why I sit here and I tell people all the time, like, I never thought about getting married. Yeah, I turned around and did it, but I never thought about it because I knew what I wanted to do in my life. I wanted to build myself. I wanted to go to school. I knew I wanted kids at some point, but I knew I wanted to go to school and I wanted to do greatness for myself. So I wanted to travel. I wanted to do a lot of things before I hit 30. And here I am at officially 29 as of 24 hours ago, traveling a lot. I've been to Norway, I've been to London, I've been to Paris, I've been to Germany, I've been to the Bahamas, I've been to LA, I've been to Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, New York, New Jersey, Chicago, St. Louis. I've been a lot of places, and I feel like for me, where I'm at 29, I have to have somebody who is either building to be close to me or already where I'm at or even further than where I'm at to motivate me to build better. And at the end of the day, when you get into a relationship, you don't want to hinder somebody's growth. You want to help build their growth. A lot of people go into relationships and they haven't worked on themselves enough to be okay, or they get with somebody who's already fully built and then be like, man, what you already got established, it's great and everything, but now you need to scratch all that and rebuild with me. No, you should be coming in and help build the foundations of what they've already built. So you need to work on yourself before you jump into something, because protecting your energy, protecting your mental space, your physical being, your emotional being, it starts with you. Your universe is going to reflect on those things. The things that you create, your universe, your legacy, reflect. It starts with you. Because guess what? In order for you to attract what you want, you have to be what you want. I've never really thought too much about that as a child, but when you sit here and you want to attract something, you have to speak it into existence. Yes, the law of attraction is very, very true, because good, that's going into the next subject, is energy. Because guess what? The energy you put out is the energy you receive. You are literally a magnet. And me being a beacon of positive energy, I'm going to always attract both negative and positive energy, because I have a lot of people who flock to me. So come next month, when we're talking about energy, we're going to break it down. We're going to basically talk about what is energy, and how the different, how your thoughts is technically energy, your body movement is energy, the vibes and energy, the emotions you have is also energy, and how to attract what you're wanting in a timely manner, that which you want. Yeah, it's going to take time for you to build it. Yes, it's going to take work and effort, but at the same time, you got to want it every single day, because every day is a start over. Every day is a recap. Every day is a restart. It's a restart button. It's basically another life to start over. So that's what going forward we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about energy. What is energy? We're going to talk about in the following months, um, religion. We're going to talk about finding yourself, your center, because I'm a spiritualist. I don't believe that there is just one God. I believe that there is multiple gods, but they all have the same morale. They have the same, common belief, where, or if you do good onto others, you're going to get good back. So for me, you will randomly hear me say, which God am I praying to today? Oh, it's going to be Cthulhu. And it's not me joking, it's just me being me, because at the end of the day, everything as a person, you are godlike in yourself. So instead of me being self-centered and be like, oh, I'm praying to myself every day, and that's egotistical, I'm like, I'm praying to the many gods and what their beliefs is, which is do unto others as you would do to yourselves. Because every message is still the same. No matter what religious book you read, it's the same thing. Do good unto others, including doing good unto yourself. Love thy neighbor, love thyself. Every single book, every religion is saying the same thing. It's just different. They use different gods to say the same thing. And then as a spiritualist, I'm not saying that one God's better than the other, just like a lot of religions do. So we're going to be going deeper into that in following months. It's finding yourself spiritually, because yes, you do need to find something to believe in. It doesn't matter if it's God, if it's what's in front of you. It doesn't matter if it's, the light, the sun. It doesn't matter. But find something to bring you kind of morale, to bring you centered. And just know that what you're doing in life is the plan set in stone for you. We're going to talk about fate. We're going to talk about religious taboos. So I am going to dive into religion, and I might make some people real pissed off at me. Some people will really be mad, because I'm doing some real deep research that most people don't look past what they grew up in. A lot of people, it's like, oh, I'm Christian because I grew up in a Christian household. But have you really studied religion? Have you really looked at different religions? We're going to talk about relationship taboos going down the line. We're going to have, sit ins, conferences. I'm planning on this year, I am not going to slow down momentum on my podcast. I'm going to take time, and we're going to really dive in deep on different subject taboos, especially in the African American community, that most people don't talk about. And a lot of people sit here and they don't talk about in public. I'm not going to shy away from things that most people don't talk about, because I refuse to be silenced. I feel like in order for us to break the chain in the African American community, we have to talk about it, especially when it comes to mental health, physical health, everything. I still have a father who hates going to the hospital, and he is literally he has a sickness. He refused to go to the hospital until it's the last possible minute. But that's just how he was raised, how he was brought up. We don't talk about mental health in my house, but he's starting to do it now because of me, because I talk about my mental health. I don't take shame in having anxiety or depression or having PTSD. I take it as a learning experience. And I talk about it not because I want people to pity me, not because I want people to feel bad for me, but I want people to see where I came from and why I'm so set on who I am and who I'm going to become. Because I don't want people to follow that same path or follow down the predetermined path that usually most people with PTSD or abusive backgrounds follow. Yes, I was abused. Yes, I have a lot of trauma from it. But I don't want that to be my sob story. I want that to be my success story. I want other people to learn and grow and be better. That there is life past anxiety. Yes, there is life past depression. Yes, there is life past, you know, abuse. You can't allow yourself to live this way because that chapter is done and over. We're going to keep pushing forward. Yes, failure is always a form of success. In order for you to succeed, you have to fail. Every shot you can make literally is already a shot lost because you decide not to do it because you're afraid of failure. And honestly, I sat down and I listened to another person talk. She talked about a lot of the time people do not shoot their shot because they're afraid of success. They're not afraid of failure. It's more of success. We say that it's failure to make ourselves feel better, but in honesty, we're afraid of success. Why? We might be afraid that what if this does work? What if this does turn out the way that it is? Maybe this may be my blessing. We lose out on blessings because we're afraid of success, of it being successful, or getting attached to somebody, or being there. Yes, in order for you to succeed, you have to fail. But when you fail, don't just give up. Believe me, if this podcast was to fail tomorrow, I would not stop. I will start back up talking about, okay, last week's episode was a bust, but guess what? Next Sunday is a better one. I'm going to do better next time. I can tell you at one point in time in my life, I didn't believe that the energy we put out was the energy received. I didn't think of me being successful. I just lived. I didn't find a purpose. I didn't do anything. I just knew that I had friends who would come to me for advice for different things, but it took me realizing that why these people kept coming to me for advice and me feeling great about giving them advice. That's what made me find this purpose. That's what made me say, you know what? If this podcast fell tomorrow, I'm still going to go for it. As long as you see the moments in content and live forward from it. Yeah, I agree. Success requires you to change or do more if it requires you to do better. And some people don't want to hold themselves to that standard because it's hard work to maintain. Yes, some people do not want to hold themselves for accountability. And that's just it. In order for you to accomplish a lot of things, you do have to grow. In order for you to do things or make changes in your life, it takes every level of you as a person. It takes your physical, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual self to grow forward and put towards that effort in order for you to accomplish your goals or to do that change or to make that success. And some people don't want to make that change. A lot of people don't realize when they sit here and say, oh, I want to get a good man, I want to get a good boyfriend, this, that, and the other, but they don't, and they wonder why they keep attracting these guys who ain't worth it or these females who ain't worth it. Because guess what? You haven't put everything in yourself. You haven't changed what you need to change to get that gift, to get that blessing, to get that success. And some people, in some cases, it's also because they hold their girls to have a standard. Sometimes that girl that you may pass up may be the girl that you may be you supposed to be successful with. For me, I'm all about the energy and the vibe. If I don't vibe with you, if I don't rock with you, I'm not going to take time to invest my energy in you because I know me. I put everything forward when it comes to my goals. I put my mental health, my spiritual health, my emotional health forward to make my success, to make those things go forward. So even with relationships, it's got to take all of those elements of you. You're working mechanic, your universe to go for it, to make those things successful and to maintain it. Even relationships take a form of work and effort. It's just it. So when we go into the whole time of talking about energy going forward, we're going to talk about you putting your energy forward on all those levels. Because everything that I've taught to on those going like previous episodes is leading to the next couple of episodes involving energy and why energy is so important. You being a whole working machine. So, like I said, going forward, I want to start getting more people involved, especially Zeb, because Zeb is now the fan favorite right now, because that was the biggest one that everybody loved your insight. I'm gonna have to talk and sit down with you and see what episodes I can snab you in for. So, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna probably have moments where I can have people come in, ask suggestions, give Q&As. Um, I'm also thinking of possibly doing on my Sunday refreshers opportunity for people to send in stories for me to give advice. Is a suggestion if people would like to do that. I don't know yet. I'm gonna see how the feedback on that's gonna go, as well as try to see if we can shoot some advice more or less on that, and see how you guys are just vibing out. So, like I said, every ounce of feedback, every share, every like is always appreciated. I really, really appreciate you guys sticking it out with me so far. But going forward, we are going to go big, and we're going to keep going big, and we're going to keep making it a great year. This podcast is now my baby. I'm going to take good care of it, whether you guys listen or don't listen. I hope at least one person takes something from this. So I love at this point that you guys have been here and giving suggestions. And yes, that I could turn the Sunday refresher into a Q&A with questions or comments that I get on each podcast leading up to, or even just people's insight. Like I have one person, he says every time I drop a podcast, he learns more and more about me. And he realized that the reason why I call myself a goddess, because I've gone through so much and I've accomplished and overcame so much. I am ready to help other people manifest. What may work for me may not work for somebody, but I want people to understand that to find your better and higher self, at least then you could take somebody's suggestion and look at somebody else's life and learn from it and grow from it. So, ladies and gentlemen, going forward, we're going to go big. Questions, comments, smart remarks. But just always remember, even at the end of the day, you guys got to protect your energy. I want you guys to go ahead and make sure you're staying hydrated, staying active, even if it's just walking. The flight of stairs at the job and stuff, instead of taking the elevator, if you're only on the third floor, take them stairs. I'm not suggesting if you're like on the 10th floor, but if you're on the third floor, take them stairs. It ain't going to do you no harm. Drink lots of water, stay hydrated, and also protect your energy. And ladies and gentlemen, just know that I care. And if I didn't care, I wouldn't be here making this podcast. I want people to grow and flourish. I want us all to be our best, beautiful selves and manifest into our best selves. So we can be able to manifest our great relationships for ourselves, for our partners, for our children, for our futures, for our legacy. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Reiko. And again, this was my Sunday refresher for my Sunday detox. I will be back next Sunday when we're talking about energy, and we're going into deep, deep, deep into that. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Thank you again for all the birthday wishes as I went into chapter 29, aka level 29, and my Queen's Day was great for those who helped out and wish me a great day. So, protect your energy. Have a wonderful week. And we'll see you next week when we talk about energy. Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen.